Okay, somebody asked on a previous video, he made a comment he had a problem with a 39A not picking up the next cartridge out of the magazine. Okay, the most likely thing when something like that happens is in the actual magazine itself. The easiest way to check, there's a hole here, and you can see the red end is in there now. Well, maybe it won't show up, but if there's another cartridge in the right position, you'll see the brass. And if the magazine is empty, you'll see that red piece will poke into that hole. The hole that's above it, the one right here, is a loaded chamber indicator. You will see a little end of the brass in there if there's a cartridge in the chamber. But that's the first thing to check to make sure that your magazine is feeding them all the way down. You know, that you'll see that little piece of brass of the rim right in that hole. You can end up with well, it could either be a problem with the magazine, with the follower, with that brass tube can get kinked, the spring can be hanging up, or it's very easy to end up with a cartridge in there that's damaged, that's got a little bend or a kink in it and won't allow it to feed all the way back. So first thing to do is check and make sure that things can go all the way back there, that when you load it, you can actually see a rim in there. You know, that really is the most likely problem, because these are pretty straightforward. You can see there now that little red that is the end of the magazine follower. And if that's fine, the first thing to do would be to check this screw and this screw, make sure that they aren't worked loose. You know, they've got to be not flopping around, you know, or out altogether. But they're really pretty simple. You know, there isn't a lot of moving parts in here, so it shouldn't be that hard to find a problem. You know, it's amazing in that they will feed the various length cartridges, because it just pushes them back in here. Then when it closes, it comes up, shuts off the magazine and just shoves it, whatever cartridge it is, into the chamber. So there's really not a lot going on in the 39A. It's just that things are very precise. You know, you could actually have parts that were worn, or like I say, screws that are loose. But the first thing, always check the magazine, because it can get dirt in there, or like I say, a bent cartridge, but that's the first place to look, to make sure that it's actually pushing them back. From there, you know, like I say, there could be different things wrong in here, but it's just the likelihood is not very great. But it's hard to diagnose a problem like that. Just, you know, somebody says, it won't feed. It's like when I used to work on computers a lot, people would call me up and say, you know, it's doing this or that. Well, a lot of times, you know, they were misunderstanding what it was doing. You know, it's hard to diagnose something like that over a phone or through an email. But that's the first and most likely place to check, is in that magazine tube, because if that gets gummed up, or you get a bent cartridge in there, they will jam, or they simply won't feed through, you know.